Lemon Amiga present. A Predseda video review. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey there, once again, welcome to another Lemon Amiga play guide and review. This time we'll be checking out Alien Breed Tower Assault. This was developed and published by Team 17 and released in 1994. And on the CD32 version it comes up with one of these space intros, which looks like Babylon 5. Blown up this screen to a slightly larger size than you got to see that on the CD32, and it opens with kind of an alien's introduction.
This is a research station on Arizon 2E calling anyone. Repeat, this is a priority code 10 SOS. We are under attack. Some new kind of life form. We've never seen anything like it before. We've lost over half the base crew already. That's 500 people. We need armed assistance immediately. This is not a virus. Repeat, this is not a virus.
That, gentlemen, is the situation as we understand it. There's been no further communication from Adelaide.
Then it continues with some very bad acting, where we're supposed to be informed that the only thing to do is to get down to the planet and find out what's going on.
Alien mind form has breached the system and implies that they're intelligent. It does not mean that the system has been disarmed. So when you go in, keep it low. Keep it tight, don't get your asses killed. Your mission is primarily a reconnaissance one. Get down there and find out what the hell went on. If there are survivors, rescue them. But your main objective is to protect the security of the Federation. So suit up, armor, get your asses down there and kick an alien butt.
It moves into a kind of a commando sequence that you get on all these types of ridiculous rip-offs.
Let's get it on.
And then it's time to move on, of course, to the dropship.
Everybody locked and loaded? Power up. Let's get these babies up there.
Through a long convoluted sequence of leaving the ship and flying down to the surface of that planet.
Okay, all groups, I want to stand in right formation till we hit the surface. Okay, people, keep it tight. We'll be on the towers in 30 seconds.
Finally, we get to the main objective, or at least the thing on the box art, and you can see, well, I counted at least 12 of these guys. That's 12 Space Marines attacking, or at least investigating, this base. appears that reverse thrust isn't an option.
To base. Defense systems active. Request permission to fire.
No. Take corrective action. There are civilians in the base. Hold your fire.
Down. 41 to 42. You take B-Ring. Check out the left side of the tower.
And somehow they've been told to hold their fire. And surely if the base hasn't been compromised and these are friendly citizens that they've been told to guard all costs, surely the base wouldn't be trying to attack them and blow them all up.
That's moving 10 down now. 41 to base. We're getting our asses kicked down here. Request permission to open fire.
Hold your fire.
We've been hit. Looking on power. Kill it, man. We're not getting out of this one. At least control with us. Come with us. Water base, we're losing too many. Give me confirmation to fire.
Yes, open fire. Open fire, damn it. Total, mother.
Okay, this is Blue 2 to Blue Squadron. Regroup.
By the time somebody gets around to telling them that it's alright to fire upon these guns, blowing them all up, what do they fire? Well, lasers, and those lasers don't actually do anything.
Let's make this one count.
Basically, long story short, you end up being the only guy stranded in front of this big base that's definitely an enemy, and that big base has been taken over by aliens, so of course there's nobody left alive inside it anyway. This game originally came on 3 discs, and those 3 discs contain the ECS and the AGA version, and so you can put those into any machine, it will boot up. And there's also CD32 animation as well on the CD32 edition, and this is just the normal edition I'm playing at the moment. I think this is even the ECS version, although apart from a few colours you won't be able to tell much difference. Fortunately, it doesn't tell us what we're running currently on that title page, and we can change 1 and 2 players as well, and never actually tried to play this maybe 2 players simultaneous if that's an option, no idea, but that would be definitely an easier way to play this game. You can also play it using the D-pad as well if you've got one of those handy, and a joystick, and you can also enter a mission code from here as well. We begin at the crash site, and it tells us to recce the area and to find out what's going on. Caution, there is a minefield ahead.
Nash is dead.
We begin, just like the previous game, in the middle of nowhere, on the edge of society, and we have to find our way in, and sometimes there are information boxes lying around that we can collect, and they will give us a bit more of a heads up on the story. And you can see various items dotted around. The big ones are actually ammunition cartridges, and of course the ones with the first aid symbol are first aid kits.
Warning.
For anybody unfamiliar with the series, it's very easy to remember. Alien Breed 1 was released in 1991, Alien Breed Special Edition 92 was released in 1992 as a budget title, Alien Breed 3 was Alien Breed 2 The Horror Continues in 1993, Alien Breed 4 was Alien Breed Tower Assault, released in 1994, Alien Breed 5 was Alien Breed 3D, released in 1995, and Alien Breed 6 was Alien Breed 3D 2, released in 1996. So, take your pick there, you can definitely follow the series. So this was number 4, apparently. We are being bombarded, this time not with helicopters, but with asteroids. And you can see some areas that can be got into if we blow ourselves up on the minefield. We can gain access to those and simply collect the health afterwards. And that's definitely a top tip. Definitely collect that money in the bottom corner, which I forgot to do on this particular playthrough, because the money is a very important aspect of the game. It allows us to buy weapons upgrades, which allow us to survive. And definitely survival at this early stage isn't too important. And you can see the health at the very top. We haven't really been scratched by these lasers, and there is extra health dotted around. And so you can see we have 2 keys at the moment, now 3 because we've collected another one. So we do have keys, we do have 7 ammo cartridges and 3 lives. So it seems Complex is built up of 6 minor towers, I'd say major towers, and it's our objective to get all the way to the top of one of them. Just like perhaps Impossible Mission 2, we've got to climb all the way up, and at the top we'll gain access on some of them to the big tower at the very top, and then we can take down the whole complex from there. And this does not feature automatic destruction landscapes and levels like the previous game, which is good, and it definitely is a huge upgrade in the exploration department, because there wasn't very much to explore with the previous games. It was simply a load of levels. So let's move on to level 1, Civilian Zone 1. In here you'll find a load of dead bodies and a load of aliens that are going to kill us. So once we go through that exit, that's a no way back, that means we can't get through that. And it looks like it's abandoned, everybody's dead. Alright then, so let's move through that no way back, and if you try to go, it's there. Unfortunately it'll kill us, so that's a needless life wasted straight away. The doors that you can see that are single doors don't need a key to open them. But if they've got a double barrier in front of us, that's a double door that will require a key. And all of the other green tokens you can see are money. Definitely collect those green money tokens wherever we go, and sweep and clear. On this early level you can see a key card above us, a red one, and also a key that will give us access to the lift at the end of the level. And that means that we can elevate ourselves to the second level of this civilian zone. And that's how most players actually got through the game. You can see a terminal as well, we'll come back to that a bit later on. That gives us the extra weapons once we've got the cash. And all of these aliens will require maybe 3 or 4 bursts, and if we hold down the fire button, this is the exit corridor, this is the way that we'll actually be going on this playthrough. And if you hold down the fire button, that will release a burst of ammo automatically. So you'll have to hold down the fire button for longer than anticipated to kill those aliens. And a big benefit of this particular game is you can hold down the fire button and pull backwards. That will mean you step backwards as you're firing. That means that you can get some range on them, and that means that you don't have to always risk killing them at point blank range. You can actually step backwards, and that's not a tip that I will employ during this playthrough because I wasn't aware of it. But having watched different long plays and everything else since, I can definitely be appreciating of it. And yes, you can even shoot the doors down at this particular stage because the doors are weedy and they don't require a lot. Once they're open, that's it. And sometimes there isn't enough distance between us and the enemy to not get hit. Luckily, the damage really does take a lot of damage before it moves down, and we'll be getting some body armour a bit later on. So it's definitely not a one-shot kill on either side of the spectrum, and we do have Space Marine armour, which does protect us a little bit on this early level. Another great benefit of this early level is, as I say, you can sweep and clear it, which gives us some kind of defence and can save energy. Just like all of these games that we've played so far, you have to go back and pick them up again, just like Varacop. Save that energy until you really need it, and you can leave that littered around the level as long as you've liberated that energy from the aliens in the first place. And we don't have to worry too much about keys either at this point, which is fantastic. In this top-down landscape we can see various dead bodies hanging around and blood everywhere, and that was a signature of this type of game, and Team 17 of course put out 6 of them. So it was definitely a popular franchise, although we don't have any evidence whatsoever that they contacted H.R. Giger and asked permission to rip off the aliens, and I'm pretty sure they didn't. So that's why you still get the aliens in this particular game. Although with Alien Breed 3D, I think they changed that, and they changed the look of them, because by that time you're starting to get into copyright. You can see there is a cut-through section, or at least a hidden section in this level, which we can get to a bit later on, and there's another computer terminal here that will give us some more information, and I think by pressing one of the keys on the keyboard as well, maybe we can get hold of a map. And so maybe a few keys have to be functioned in this game, I'm not quite sure. And you can see we're almost at the top now with health. We've got plenty of ammo, but still only a few keys. And definitely one of the tips that the masters employ, they always say if you're going to visit a terminal, if you can afford it, get some more keys. It doesn't matter how many you've got, get some. So this is the deck lift, this is going up to the top. Well, the next lift on the level, that will be civilian level 2. That requires a red key card, which we've seen already, and so we won't be collecting that. And that's the quick way out of the level, you just collect that and exit. But of course this weedy pulse rifle isn't going to really help us when we need a bit more firepower, so that's another one-way road, one way back. And pulling up the map, you can see it, so nothing else to collect, let's go through it, and that leads us on to that hidden section we saw earlier on. There's nothing else here, only this, so it's great to be able to pull up a map as well. And I'm not sure that that's available on every level, I don't think it is on some of them, particularly the dark ones, which are critical to get through. Sometimes the enemies respawn from respawn points, but unlike Gauntlet, which this game has been compared to too many times, you can't blow up, unfortunately, the enemy hole, and that means that we'll keep pouring out of that hole continuously. And that's an unfairness. That just means that we'll be, unfortunately, damaged by the onslaught eventually, because one way or another we're going to run out of bullets, or we're going to run out of health.
Energy low.
Luckily this game doesn't need checkpoints or waypoints, it just respawns us back where we were before, and this is going backwards, but it's actually the right way to go because this brings us out on the level where we were before. So now I don't think you can close the doors to stop the respawning enemies, unfortunately. What we definitely need is a better gun, so that's the dead end, that's not going anywhere. So we've now swept and cleared most of this level out, and it doesn't tell us how much money we've got, but we can make our way back to one of the computers, if I can remember where it is, and that will tell us. And down here, that's one, and that's the exit to the level, and I don't think there's anything down there, so we don't need to worry about that at this stage. And so Let's see, we've got full everything, but we've only got one life left.
Online.
Checking out the weapons, we've got 19,900, i.e. 1990, and with that we can afford some weapons. All of the weapons will be different values, and sometimes they'll be worth their weight in gold and sometimes not. And you can actually upgrade these weapons as well. And the body armour, well, the masters of this game definitely recommend getting the body armour, and that makes up for some of the deficits in the weapons, because you can absorb a number of deaths in this game and the aliens will just run straight through us until one of us dies, so body armour definitely helpful. At the moment I can't really afford much, and I could afford to upgrade the assault gun, but that's not really great. This is the gun that we start out with, the basic assault rifle, and so I'm not really too worried about that. And so the aim is to collect the money outside that we missed earlier on, the money in the bottom corner of the outside level. And are we buying that? It looks like we have actually bought that mistakenly. So if we've got 13 grand left, and surely we can afford something with that. The medium body armour, that would definitely buy itself. So you can afford plenty in the first shop, and even the better weapons if you found all of the cash all of the time. And we can buy extra scanner modules, extra keys and extra ammo, and sometimes the ammo is the easiest thing to find on the level. Definitely the keys are what we really need. Mission objectives, get through it, survive. We don't really need to worry about that. Game statistics. So, well, we've got an assault rifle, stage 3, terrific. We didn't bother going for the trial laser gun, which is what I should have done, but we've got the body armour stage 2. And the database will tell us all about the facility and all about the fact that the aliens have taken it over and where they are in the central tower, which is fair enough.
Smart card message follows.
Smart card reader, what have we got? This is telling us about the data access collection cards that we managed to find earlier on. Those are stored in our reader. Definitely the keys are one of the most important things in the game. Let's move on now, and this isn't a tower, this is now another outside section. Outdoor sector 2. Get through the laser field, get through the minefield and survive. Alright then, fair enough. It gives us a map at the beginning of it, and you can see the objectives. Get over the bridges, of which there are 2 on that crevice, and I think there are maybe extra things to explore, maybe extra pickups as well. And the only objective is the lasers, to avoid the lasers. And they are tracking lasers. Once they're fired, then they are harmless until that shot disappears off the screen. So that means we can actually lure bullets out of them, or at least lasers, whatever they may be. So definitely ammo is plentiful. Go around and collect that for free on these levels. There's no need to buy ammo that I noticed was available in the shop. And can't get through there. There are a few mines dotted around. They won't really harm us at this point. Not definitely with the body armour. You can see those lasers barely scratch us, so that's good. And this is the underground tunnels facility, and so that data point just telling us about that. If we use that, we can cut through and collect a key that we need to get through to the next section if we are going that way. Otherwise there are other keys dotted around which will open up other sections of this maze, and if I don't go the correct way, it means that I've collected the wrong key, and it means we can no longer go that way. So it looks like I'm going for the bottom bridge instead of the top one, which was a mistake. Let's try to get to that top bridge, and well, we're making it up there. And cutting through that minefield, sometimes you have to take some damage. Sometimes you can't always get through these things without a scratch, but there you go. And so let's see what we found. We found the hard way around the level. We found the chasm, which is good. And let's see if we can sneak around these boulders. Where am I going now? Why am I going backwards? I found the exit to the minefield.
Jordan, warning. Energy low.
And I'm going backwards in the level. Sometimes maybe you can be completely blind to these things, I'm not quite sure, but we found the right way to go and turned around and went the wrong way anyway. So that means that we're now heading towards the bottom bridge on this particularly outdoor section. And the bottom bridge leads to another cut through section, which I think leads to another outdoor section. And it's possible, I think, to loop around the outdoor of the entire maze, so that's us cutting through now. The outdoor section of the entire complex can be got around, I think, so you can enter any building, or at least stage 1 of it. And again, it gives us some more ammo and a map. So we can exit north, I think, or we can exit to the east. And there are various guns, and there are various doors which block our way. So we are going completely in the wrong direction at the moment. What we'll eventually find is a security door,
Smart card message
and
follows.
it says these security gates need 2 keys to open them. You must go around the level, find the 2 special key passes, and we will open that gate. Alright then, so let's start off. The first one is relatively local, it's pretty easy to find it. Well, that is unless you get blown up on a mine. But here it is. That's the first card, pretty simple. Fortunately, I don't think you can blow those mines up with a gun, which is an oversight. And definitely getting blown up in this game just because there's a minefield there blocking your access to the very cards that you need is a disadvantage. And definitely several magazine reviewers said this game was simply too hard for its own good.
Smart card message follows.
That's another data point. This is the access to the northern sector, and that leads on to another facility, the armory it looks like. So maybe if you have access to that area, let's just go through that and see what it is. Oh no, it's the colony ground, sector 4. Northern exit leads, well, I'm not quite sure. If you can hold down the fire button to read that or skip it or whatever, but I didn't actually read that. So now we're on to another outdoor area. And masters of this game have definitely memorised all of the sections so that they can get through particularly to the section that they need. Colony section number 3. No idea, I seem to be walking around in circles here. And I'm not sure if there are any exits to this particular zone. Let's just start marching anyway. And let's see if anything shows up. And unfortunately it's no way back. That's definitely one of the things they said. It's too hard, you can't go back, you can't save health on a previous level and simply go back down the elevator and collect it. Go back down to a safe zone, collect some ammo, recharge, get yourself together and then go back up again. No, everything is a one-way exit. So what's this? It's taking me down there. I didn't really want to go down there, but we're now on security zone 1. Wow, so we've moved all the way around to the other side of the map. Security zone 1 is all the way from there. That's miles past the civilian zone. And of course in security zone 1 it's heavily defended as soon as you walk through the door, and it's going to be difficult for us to progress with that long life. Luckily we can pick up extra lives just like that, and that's great.
Smart card message follows.
Even though we've got virtually no energy left, we've now got the lives. And the double doors require those keys. We wasted one investigating that, so we're down to 3 keys now. We better watch out, and definitely opening that door by mistake is the very key that I needed to get through to the end of this level. And now, having wasted it, unfortunately for me, I can now no longer complete it unless I'm very, very careful with those keys. with the souped up weapons, unfortunately it's not that easy to get rid of the enemies, and they still take a lot of firepower, and the critics said even with the best guns, sometimes the enemies just take too many shots. So this isn't a run and gun game, this is a stand and gun game. You have to stand there and shoot them, a minimum requirement. And again, I'm wasting keys now going through stupid areas just to get a bit of health. And I've no idea whether I'm supposed to go through any of these things, because this is the security area. And it now requires a red key card pass and then a blue one. Security terminal lies beyond these locked doors. Fantastic, so I can't even upgrade because I haven't got the keys, or I don't really want to waste them at this point. And again, sometimes the game throws in those enemies for us just to keep us on our toes, and sometimes we have no idea where we are going. I guess I forgot to use the automatic map function, which brings up the local area map, which is a great feature of this game. And you can see loads of keys in there. That's where I really should go with my last key, which is there, but I found an area with a key in it. So that's one thing that it shares in common with its other predecessors. Let's collect these 3 so that I've at least got them, and a room full of dead bodies. That's particularly helpful, but it's quite good graphics, and it's good to see that even though these graphics are mainly grayscale, it looks like for many of these levels, and the security zone seems to be no harder at this point than the first level of any other level, although the other levels, as you go through them, the other floors to the building, they will get harder because there are simply more generators for those enemies to pour out of, and I think the enemies get stronger and harder as well. We now have 1 key remaining, and I'm going to use that 1 key hopefully to get through. Don't use it on this door. Well, that was a complete wasted opportunity. Well, got another key there. Better be careful. It's very easy to run out of keys, so there's 2 keys there. That's definitely what I should have gone for. Let's get them. And that's the red pass. That's one of the keys that we needed to exit this level, hopefully. So let's move through it. We're now down to 1 key again, and it requires, I think, 2 keys to get through to the next section, and well, 3 according to that. 3 keys to get through to those next 2, and we don't have the keys available, and 2 keys to get through if you go through. That's 4 keys if you take the bottom way, 3 keys if you take the top way. And unfortunately for me, it's not possible to blow my way in there. So while I run around, I'll just say the code was Andreas Tadic, or Tardic, however you pronounce that. He was responsible for many Team 17 games, as well as classics like Project X and Super Frog, but also Miami Chase that we've seen already, and also Full Contact as well, which is like a Yeehaw Kung Fu game. And the other coder was Stefan Boberg. Again, they basically worked at Team 17 together to code all of the games that I've just mentioned. And the graphics, well, there were a few graphics creators, but Rico Holmes, again, was the main one who created the graphics to these games and Team 17 games, and also Worms that we've reviewed already, and again called Time Soldier as well. And graphics also Tony Segnor, however you pronounce that. He was only 16 at the time, working there as an apprentice, but he helped with the graphics. And it looks like I've just had to quit out of that level because there's no way through it without any keys. Alistair Brimble created the music, and he worked on many Team 17 games, Bubble and Squeak, Dojo Dan, and even the Lost Vikings. For now, I've been killed, and it takes quite some time to get deep into the game. You have to build up your armaments slowly. And what most players do is simply clear out that first level.
Nash is dead.
and then move on to the rest. So here we go, we've started the game. Not quite sure, but let's record it again. Let's collect everything that we need to collect
Smart card message follows.
and speed our way through. We don't have to collect everything, although I definitely recommend getting that money, which I seem to have ignored again. Definitely collecting all of that money. So here we are with the one with the 2 bridges, the one where you have to take the top one if you want to get into the security zone, which is what the professionals recommend. And again, it looks like I'm going the bottom way. I found the bottom bridge instead, and so that again is completely the wrong way. So it's easy to get lost in this game, and unless you have the maps and you know your way around and you know what you're supposed to do, unfortunately sometimes there is no way through it. Got that? I haven't got the second key again, and so you have to memorise everything and go through it death by death and get just a bit further every time. That's what the makers of this game said. You have to practice at it and explore everything and ignore all the bits that you know that are dead ends by playing it over and over again. Unfortunately, because you are a single space marine on this planet all on your own, there is no, well, it would be nice to have an AI player like the Chaos Engine, and then you could feel like you're part of the team and picking up different players around the map and that kind of thing. And that would be very helpful, but unfortunately it's solo missions, so having to die, respawn, learn the levels, die, respawn, that means you can't get through it the first time, unlike the Chaos Engine, which if you move through it slowly enough, you can actually get through it from scratch without having to memorise it. So the repeated dying and restarting bit is a bit of a waste of time. It should have at least come up with a random name for our soldier every time, so that it looks like we're playing with a different guy, but we didn't. And so let's buy a different weapon, hopefully from the shop this time, having gone through this again. And I've watched the long play by SQRon, which he posted on Lemon Amiga, as the inspiration for me trying to play this game, and he made it look easy. So I'm about to do now, or at least I'm trying to, follow his guide, his way, and his way isn't the only way. And as we've seen, we can break into any number of the towers, and yes, it is possible to kill these armaments with the laser, but it takes so much ammunition and so long to do that when this gun is absolutely not necessary to kill at all, so let's not bother. And so now that we've got the tri-laser, it suffers from the same problem as X out or cross out, in the fact that you have to get all of the enemy on target with all 3 of those laser blasts. Otherwise, if you're hitting it with one of the 3 lasers, it's not really going to be much better than the standard ammunition gun.
Smart card message
Let's try to
follows.
follow that long play again. Let's collect the key that we need to get through to the exit door. And so that's all collected. And that special key doesn't show up on our keys, unfortunately. So we've no idea what it is, and it doesn't even tell us either. Maybe there is a way, but I don't think there is a way for it to tell us. And it looks like, it looks like we've gone through the bottom door again. Don't go through the bottom door. Oh, well, it looks like we've gone the wrong way again. So, yeah, now I've realised it's not actually possible to get through to the section that I needed. So let's try that again. Let's go through it all. Let's get a decent gun. Let's kill everybody on the first level. And this is me attempting to follow somebody else's guide to the game. And I'm sure if you were playing it, maybe crawling to the top of the civilian zone, memorising all of those 7 levels, or however many there are, and then going across the top of the rest. That would seem the most obvious way, because then you're concentrating your memory and everything on a certain number of levels. And it's probably the hardest way to go, knowing this game, and it's probably easier going through a different zone, and there is no access to the top area through the civilian zone, unfortunately. But now we're back in the old area again. Now let's collect, now let's creep through those rocks finally. And now we've collected the key, we can now exit through this into the exit that I was trying to find originally. Finally, now, where are we now? Well, we're on the stores level 1. Hopefully this should be an easier ride. and the stores are right there next to the civilian zone. So there's still no exit to the top of the tower from here, but we can cut across. So according to the long play, if you go through the stores, it's full of ammunition, and that's good. And sometimes if you know where the health is, that's good, but again, the enemies just take too many shots. Those bullet sponge enemies are what ruin the game. So what have we got? That looks like another terminal. Can we use that?
Online.
And it looks like we can. And from here we can find out all about the different zones and the people and what happened to all those and whether they are secure or whether they aren't. The science tower and the top secret zone at the very top, which is classified. And general advice is to collect as much as you can. A massive body armor boost, that's a great tip. And yet again, respawning enemies out of those unkillable holes, killers, unnecessarily. So we're down to 2 lives and a first aid kit when we didn't need it. So according to the long play that I watched, you're supposed to go to the bottom left, I think, corner to destroy the first generator of the 2 or 3 I think that we need on this level. So I've gone down there and I can't find anything. I definitely went, hopefully, the right direction. So now I'm wandering perhaps in the wrong direction. So I'm trying to go to the left again. Is there anything down here? Or health, that'll do. And some more bullets, and again no generator. So having watched the long play, I'm now completely lost as to which way I'm supposed to go. I'm heading back towards the start thinking that I've gone completely the wrong way. So, and I've died again. What a surprise. Even with this tri laser, it's absolutely 100% no stronger than the other one, unless we can get the animal on target and with all of the shots. The voiceover artist for the computer was once again Lynette Reed, and she started out with Slightly Magic on the Amiga, the voiceover artist for Slightly Magic by Codemasters in 1991.
Online.
Well, we've managed to find the second generator and the computer as well, and yes, we can buy key packs. Maybe I was completely blind to that earlier on, but yes, Intex Corp voice was Lynette Reed, and Slightly Tragic, as I used to call it, on the Commodore 64. She started out with that, moved on to Alien Breed 1, also Assassin and the Special Edition, and the Alien Breed games, and also Kingpin as well on the Amiga. Anybody who's ever played Kingpin, which is a fantastic game. She was originally born in Scotland, I think Fife or something like that, and she moved down to maybe the Dorset area, and unfortunately she's no longer with us. So I think she died maybe 2013 or something like that, but she's unfortunately no longer with us. So that's the exit that I've managed to find, and I can't get through it until this level is blown up by blowing up those 2 generators, of which I've managed to find 1 at the moment, and as soon as I destroy that 1, it's going to start the timer ticking down, so I have to destroy the other 1 or 2 pretty quickly. And is that, yeah, it's a no way. It doesn't actually tell us that that's a no way through. And I think the other one, the third one, is in this bottom corner, but I'm completely lost again. So that leads us on to the scores. The lowest score came from Amiga Power, who awarded this 46%, complaining that it was horribly dishonest with its collision detection, and you can't just run and gun your way through it, and it's utterly funless, and so they gave that a measly score of, because it's difficult, 46%. Amiga Joker
Assault failed.
gave this the next highest score at 74, Dato gave it 80, Lemon Amiga gave it 82, Amiga Format gave it 83, The One 86, CU 86, Amiga User International is 90, Amiga Action is 91, Amiga Concept is 91 and an Amiga Dream is 95, which gives this game an average score of 8 out of 10. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you again in another one sometime soon. Thank you.
So, you mean it's like jazz?
Yeah, but you know it's like... not.